Jessica Chan, and I'm here with Pathway Christian Prep, here to bring useful information to parents of school-age children. Now, today's topic, we're going to be talking about choosing the right school for your child. This goes with our blog post, which is titled the same thing, Choosing the Right School for My Child, and you can get access to that post on our link below, or go to www.pathwaychristian.org/blog. Now let's dive into this topic. Big question to ask is, how do I know what is the right school for my child? Now, parents of children of all ages are asking this question, whether your child's going into kindergarten or into high school next year. So today we'll be assessing 4 ways to find the right school for your child. Now, the first way that we ask for you to look for is to assess your child's needs. Look at what your child's learning style is. And if you don't know what their learning style is, we have a link for that identifies the different types of learning styles. Look at whether or not your child is a social butterfly, or what are their social needs. Do they need to be in school all the time with other children? Or are they okay with having one-on-one instruction at home? And then are they planning on getting involved in school with lots of extracurricular activities and clubs and things like that? Does your child have special interest? Or are they really talented in the arts? Or does your child have special learning needs that they need some more one-on-one attention and assistance in school? Okay, the second thing to look for is, what are my family's needs? And we've broken that into a few criteria. The first one is looking at your family's financial needs. Can you afford tuition, after school care, books and curriculum and materials if you're planning on homeschooling? Looking at the location-wise for your family. How far are you willing to commute for your child's schooling? Or do you want them to just walk down the street to go to school? And then practicality and scheduling. Some families are super busy. They've got lots of activities lined up every single day. Or some families, you have multiple children that you need to do drop-offs in multiple places. So looking at your schedule and practicality, and also your work schedule, to see what you can accommodate for your child. And then another point is your family values. Now, this one's really important. Maybe you have religious values that you want to make sure is being instilled in their schooling and education. And so you're going to want to look for a school that teaches the same religious views as you. Or perhaps you want a school that is less structured than the traditional model of school, so your child has more freedom and creativity with what they're learning. The third way to assess is to look at what schools are available to you in your area. Now, we have a useful link that is in our blog post. You can type in the city that you live in, the type of school you're looking for, elementary, middle, high school, or private, public, and it'll pop up with all of the registered schools in the United States, but specific to your area. So if you put in your city, like Los Angeles, California, it'll come up with all of the schools in Los Angeles there that fit the criteria and filters that you put in. But there are main school categories that you can look for in your area. The first is public school, of course, that's your neighborhood schools. But then within public school, there are magnet schools that focus on a specific niche, such as arts, or maybe it's science. And then there are charter schools that are associated with nonprofit organizations. And then there's private schools, which most people know about. There's religious and non-religious private school options. And then there's homeschool. Now, homeschool is not just all up to the parents on how they do everything, but there are co-ops that you can look for that are located in your neighborhood, perhaps, or in the county that you reside in, that you can look for. And then there's also the option of online and virtual school. Now, this doesn't really depend on where you're located, because essentially you should be able to access online school anywhere in the 50 states, or maybe even beyond, depending on what online school it is. But that's a good option to look into as well. Now, I highly encourage, if you feel interested in any one of these types of schools, do some more research into it, because within each range, like say private school, there's a lot of variation that goes with that. You could be looking for a private Christian school. So you want to first see, is there a private Christian school in my area? And then which options do I have of private Christian schools? Because each one will vary in their mission statement, their values, and what they really focus on, and what their specialty is at that school. Okay, and then the last but not least point of assessing the right school is knowing how to identify a good school. Now, this may sound a little silly, but we're not just talking about school ratings and national rankings and How safe is the neighborhood? But we're looking at the day-to-day activities and how they function and what people are saying about them that go to the school. How do teachers and staff enjoy being at the school? And then also very important is, how does this school benefit the whole child and not just what are their academic results? Now, there's lots of ways to find this out. We have some useful resources for you on our blog post. The first is links to must-haves that you want to look for in a school. Okay, and then the second is greatschools.org has a really handy printable PDF school visitation guide. Now you can print that out and take it with you when you tour a school, and it gives you different categories of what to look for: facilities, classrooms, teachers, students. Are students smiling in the class? Are they happy? And then questions to ask the principal or the teachers that are there, and things to look out for and take note of, which is really great and useful, because then you can look back at all the different schools you visited and see what you liked about each one, what you didn't like about them. And then the last resource that we have for you is a link to niche.com, which is also another school ratings website. They have a school comparison tool, which is really neat because you can do a side-by-side comparison of, I think, about 5 schools, and it'll list all of the basic information for you in a chart of the ratings, how many students are in the school, the demographics, and lots of other useful tidbits on there. So hopefully you found this video useful to you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, as well as look at our blog posts on our website. And don't forget to follow all of our social accounts for resources, tips, and just information about our online school. So thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. Bye.